What is going on, traders, and welcome back to IFX. So let's talk about the updated columns, trend columns on the dashboard, on how it can help you to make better decisions. Okay, so of course, as you can see, there's a lot into it, and we're just gonna break it down, and we're gonna focus mainly on the last three columns, which is going to be the H1, H4, and the daily trend. I have also added two columns. Well, I added an extra RSI column, which you can change the time frame as well. But right now, we're only going to talk about the trends, okay? And what is this going to be, and how is it going to help you? So just as a summary, if you have all of them bearish, of course, you do not want to look for any buying opportunities. That's just like right there, right? And now, you do not have to wait for all of them to be in the same direction in order for you to actually make an entry. Of course not. So the first thing that you need to avoid is getting into a buy opportunities. In here, as you can tell, this is gold when it's all bearish. Now, when some of them are bullish and bearish, well, that's pretty much when the market is ranging and giving us buy and sell opportunities at the same time. So that's a good thing. If only, let's say, for example, pound dollar, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar are bullish on the H1 but bearish on the others, what can we do in this situation? Well, pretty much what we can do is we can look for pullback entries, just as well as for these pairs right over here. What we can do is we can look for any pullback entries, sell entries only. Right here, we can also look for sell entries only. When can we look for buying opportunities in this situation? If H1 is bullish, you can do only maybe scalping buying opportunities, but still is very risky. I'm going to show you examples where I have gone in yesterday and today when all of them were going in one direction, going opposite, and then of course I'm very negative. Now, right now I am buying on pound dollar, but we're going to talk about them again. We're going to see why it's still kind of like not the best thing. So in order for me to buy, like in this situation, is best when H1 and H4 is also bullish. So I can buy in here, and then I can also look for selling opportunities when the price has reached any nice resistance, and then pretty much we can play ping pong, buy and sell until the trend changes, until all of them change, and then eventually we can just look for only buy opportunities, something like that. Like right over here, pound Australian is only bullish. So what do? We only try to look for bullish trend entries, pullback trend entries. Right now, let's take a look at this opportunity: Euro yen and pound yen. H1 and H4 are already bearish, so they're already changing in trend. We don't know when it's fully changed, when the daily has been changed, but as of now, we can look for selling opportunities, and we still have to be careful. If we get any buying opportunities, we can still buy and sell. So pretty much we can play ping pong with this. So one of the great things about this is that you can add it to your charts right here, okay, as a single window. And then you can buy or sell, and you can take a look at it as well, in here, right? So this is a lot in here. What you can do is you can just minimize it and then only put whatever you want to see. So as you're able to tell right here, we have Australian dollar. I have gone into a buying opportunity right over here when all of them actually were bearish. And so, well, as you're able to tell, it went against me, okay? I'm still holding into the trade, but it's still very risky. Now, what is the other thing that we talked about on previous videos is that we talked about higher time frame moving averages. So right here, I have the 4-hour, and the purple right here, it's the daily moving average, and this red one and this blue one and yesterday's high and low, which they act as support and resistance, which they help me in order for me to enter on pullback entries. So for example, water pullback entries, when price is below the daily moving average, right? So we look for pullback entries. This would have been a grain entry right here. And what we needed at the time, just pretty much the daily trend should have been bearish, okay? We don't need all of them to be bearish. We need one, and we need to make sure we are below the moving average, and we need to make sure that we hit yesterday's high, and then that we enter using what? Either a trend block, a reversal block, or a fractal entry. I mean, there are so many things that we can use in order for us to enter. So this would have been an awesome entry right over here, okay? And then, as you can tell, it would have been much easier to sell than to buy, as what I'm doing right now, okay? So you see, if you were buying here, the move was much shorter. Here, the sell entry was longer. A little buy in here as well, and then a big sell entry right over here. So there's a big difference. So right now, if I wanted to buy, what would be the best option? The best option would be, in order for me to wait for the H4 trend to also be turning bullish, and then maybe, you know, kind of saying, hey, this is my first resistance. If I'm going to buy, I'm going to wait until it hits this H4 moving average, which is the 13 simple moving average. And this is going to act as a resistance, that you can tell right here. This would have been also a great pullback entry. And then the market just kept on going dropping. So if I'm going to buy, this would be my first TP. And if not, then I would just wait until the price is above my moving average. And then I will buy in here to reach up to what? Up to the daily moving average. So this is the ping pong that I'm talking about. We play something like that. So if I can go back, we can actually tell when price, you know, is above the moving averages, especially the daily, and then we can play along with the 4-1 as well. We had a pullback entry right here. Finally, we had another pullback entry right here. Then if the H4 would have been bearish, then we could have looked for a sell entry right up to here. It went a little bit lower, and then finally it went back up again to keep on going down because it crossed down the moving average, all right? So let's take a look at Euro Yen right now, which is one of the entries that I made right now based on that my H4 and the day H1 are bearish, but still I can tell that now Euro Yen has been what, more or less within the same price, okay? So, and we're crossing the H4 moving average, so my target would be either here, yesterday's low, or even better, the moving average. Maybe it can bounce off in here. So again, when it's like this, we can sell and then we can buy, okay? So that's where is ping pong. We can buy when it gets to here. Of course, we have to make sure that we do get an alert, meaning a trend block or reversal block or a fractal entry using either M15 or maybe, if you want, M5 entries. But we have to make sure that we reach over here and more or less you can break it and then maybe can keep bouncing up, okay? So let's see if this one might work out. It has good possibilities because H1 and H4 are bearish. So I enter also into pound dollar, which again, this one was not a good one either. I enter into a pound dollar right now, and then what did it do is it hit H4 and then it bounced off in there. At the time of the entry, this is pretty much what it was looking. And well, as you're able to tell, H4 has not been bullish yet. So if it was, then I would have gotten a nice better entry, right? So as you're able to tell right here, we are below the daily moving average. We bounced off from there. It came back down again. It went up again, came back down again. It bounced off of the moving average. And pretty much we've been getting pullback entries because we are with the daily trend, also bearish trend in here, and then we are below the moving averages. So this would have been great entries right over here. Again, if we wanted to buy, we really have to be very careful and make sure that at least we get something out of it. So you can scalp in here and then maybe you can enter a longer term. And then, well, one of the good things about it is that you can wait until it makes a new low in order for you to re-enter if you want to enter going against the trend, okay? So you see pound dollar now just like Australian dollar is making me suffer because I entered thinking that now maybe price is gonna go into here, which is not, okay? So this is going to be a great guide for you that you can make better decisions in terms of not going against the trend so much. What you're going to do is you want to enter on pullback entries, right? You want to do that in order for you to get better entries, right? So these are much better. You're not forcing the trades, you're just going with the flow until eventually the trend is going to turn around. And how does it turn around? Well, it starts first with the H1, eventually starts with the H4, right? It might stay like this for a while. Eventually the daily trend might change, but you can also see with the moving average what is going to do, more or less, right? It's just pretty much a guide. You're able to tell in here, you know, right here it bounced off really nice, and then price is just pretty much, it was a nice bounce in here to the upside. So if you're selling against the trend, be very careful. Right here a nice bounce on the moving average, okay, and right here too. So as you're able to tell, it's just really nice. So when you're trying to sell, if you see the difference between the H4 and the daily moving average, when they're trying to squeeze, you're pretty much playing ping pong. It went up to here, it goes down, it's going up to here until it reaches to this moving average, and then price will decide what it wants to do, right? So well, we'll see what happens with pound dollar, and we'll see if it goes up in there. So that's pretty much it. Let's just say what euro yen is doing. Again, price, the market has been really crazy because, well, the world is going upside down right now. So just take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Again, we have the last three columns to tell us what the trend is. We have the H1 and H4 RSI, which you can look for entries. If it's overextended, maybe you can start looking for entries. The yesterday's high and low and the ADR as well. I'm not sure if this is working or not right now, but we can use the yesterday's high and low in order for actually to look for entries as well. So pretty much these columns right here are letting us know when we can start looking for entries. This one is letting us know what is the current trend on higher time frames. And then right here to the left are going to be the alerts. So once I get an alert and then I have analyzed what's going on to my right hand side, then I can make a wiser decision. So if right now I would get, let's say I got a bullish alert on CAD yen, and if I look at my right, I'm like, well, it is possible because we are with the daily trend still, so maybe I can go and check it out. But if I would get a bullish block anywhere in here, or in a reversal block or fractal, whatever it is, if it would be bullish, then I'll be like, you know what, I don't think it's a good idea, and then I would just avoid myself looking for a headache, right? And if you want to look for bearish, you would just have to wait for a bearish block. Maybe you can change that, change the settings so you can get more alerts. You can change it to 34. So write this down. If you're going with trend pullbacks, you can actually look at 34 settings on the blocks. And if you're looking for reversals, it's best to use 120. So because you want to see that price has made a new high or a new low and then is overextended so that you can get better results with that, okay? So I hope this was easy to understand. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will be available via the Telegram channel or via email. I will see you around.